Hi, I'm Mike, owner of the In-Groove in Phoenix, Arizona. Today I'm doing the new arrival video for September 15th, 2023. I've got a massive new arrival video. Tons of killer titles came out this week. Tons of great restocks. A super solid week for new arrivals, right? But even more crazy is this week's pre-order announcements. Normally I show you guys maybe 4 or 5 pre-orders, you know, the hot 4 or 5 for the week. That's kind of my goal. This week, I've narrowed it down to 100. I'm going to try to get through most of them very, very quick, so you're not being here, sitting here having to watch this video for 3.5 hours. But there is a solid 100 titles that were announced for pre-order this week that are worth attention. 75 of them came from Analogue Productions, part of the Atlantic series that they've announced. But I'll talk to you about that in a minute. They're doing SACDs as well. But let's get to some of the other pre-orders. This one, I've been saying for like 7 years, they need to remake this album. This album needs to get redone. Why haven't they redone this? It's kind of like Tool and Nima. But this, unlike Tool, actually finally got announced after 30 years of not being in print. And that is New Order's Substance. That is an iconic album. Very hard to find on vinyl. Came out towards the later part of the 80s. And God, when I opened up the store, that might have been like a $50 record. The last one I got in was a couple of years ago, and it was like 100, 100 a quarter maybe at that point in time. But that is coming out November 3rd. I'm super excited about it. It's one of my all-time favorite bands. And I don't think I've listened to that less than 500 times. It is great. When I used to have a network player in the store. Periodically, I would stream when we were real busy because I didn't have time to flip records. And when I was streaming, I kept track of the listen count. And I think at one point, I think I had that up to like 117 times. So if you came into my store for about that 3-year period, you got to listen to Substance quite a lot. It was playing frequently. Okay, the next 2 Blue Note Tone Poets were announced. Kenny Burrell's KB Blues and Jackie Wilson's Easterly Winds. Both come out November 3rd. All analog, tip-on jacket, cut by Kevin Gray from the Master Tapes. Killer. You guys know this. We're like 4 years in on the Blue Note Tone Poets. Okay. In Utero, Nirvana. They're doing a 30th anniversary, kind of like they did for Nevermind, but they're doing it for In Utero. They're doing a standalone album variation. So that's an album with a 10-inch with bonus tracks. With Nevermind, they did the album plus a 7-inch single. Here we've got a 10-inch with bonus tracks. They're also doing a super deluxe box set. It's like 8 discs, I think. The album, the outtakes, bonus tracks, demos, that kind of thing. There's 2 complete concerts, one from 93, one from 94. There's all kinds of like passes, backstage passes, posters, 48-page book, tons of stuff on it. Those both come out October 27th. This is kind of an interesting title. They're doing A Nightmare Before Christmas, Danny Elfman's score. They're doing A Nightmare Before Christmas Zotro picture disc. That's where you put the picture disc on your turntable, and whatever it is, in this case, it's Jack Skeleton, does like a little dance for you, They're pretty cool if you haven't seen one. But these are becoming pretty popular. There was one for Record Store Day. Then Casey Musgraves had one. This one I think is going to be quite popular just because it's almost Christmas and, you get to see Jack dance around a little bit. Motley Crue, they're doing a Shout at the Devil Super Deluxe box set. Demos, all kinds of tchotchkes, key rings, that kind of thing, posters, book. That comes out October 27th. The full contents are on the website, theingroove.com. You can go see everything. Dave Matthews, Before These Crowded Streets. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I dropped water on my paper. Okay, so that was a cut by Chris Bellman. That comes out November 23rd. That is a extremely desirable and extremely expensive record. I think the last one I had in was years ago, and I think I got $600 for it like a couple of years back. So that is going to be a very popular Dave Matthews title just because it hasn't been in print. I don't think it was ever reprinted from the first go-around. But yeah. Okay, real quick too, the international shipping. I've been telling you guys about that. Check it out. We ship everywhere almost in the world. There's maybe 5 to 10 countries we do not ship. It's all DHL Express. It's about 3-day average anywhere in the world. It's really affordable. Like 3 to 4 records minimum is like the sweet spot. That's where you get the most bang for your buck. but it's customs, everything, tax, fees, everything is included. The price you see on the website is the price paid to your door. You're not going to get an invoice. There's not going to be extra custom fees after the facts or, brokerage fees. There's none of that. The price you see on the website is the price to your door. Not only that, if you're whatever country you're in, you can actually pay in your currency. So, your credit card, if you're in England, you can pay in pounds, Canadian dollars, you pay in your currency. So that saves you a little credit card processing as well, because most credit cards charge you a currency conversion. So you don't have that as well. Also, I'll mention one more time, we do ultrasonic cleaning. So everything you purchase from us, we give you the ability to have ultrasonically cleaned. What we do is we open the record, we examine it. If it's warped, we take care of it. We open another copy, find you a disc that's not warped. If it's scratched, we find another disc that's not scratched. I go through, I'm the only one that does it. So sometimes if we're busy, it takes a couple of days extra for me to do it. But I myself personally inspect every record. I ultrasonically clean it. I put it in a Mobile Fidelity inner sleeve. I put it in a Japanese outer sleeve, and then I send it to you. Sometimes we run into a situation where I open 4 or 5 copies. They're all defective. I email you and say, look, this is what I got. The best of the 5 or a refund. Sometimes that happens. But saves you guys a lot of hassle on the back end because records do get made defective. And you're getting a nice, clean, pristine, ultrasonically clean record delivered to your door. So don't think just because a record is new, it is clean, because they're made in dirty, greasy factories. They're pretty dirty from the jump. Okay, so the big announcement this week. The big announcement this week was, and there's so many damn titles I busted on my laptop because I had to write, I have to write, it took me an hour to write that. So the amount of stuff I would have to put down, I forgot, let me get my laptop. Okay, so the Analogue Productions series is all Atlantic titles. It is all 45 RPM and SACDs. I think everything comes in SACD except for maybe Phil Collins, but 75 titles, all 45 RPM, all cut from mostly the original analog master tape. There's some new stuff in here, newer music that was done digitally, and they're actually cutting it digital because that was the original file format. But everybody says, these audiophile labels, they don't ever do new music. Finally, this is an audiophile label doing a good amount of new music compared to, the normal formula. But I'll go over some of the key titles. Again, all 45 RPM. That was the deal with the series. There's no 33s. They're all 45. But a lot of these use, not a lot, but some of them are using more than likely the classic records parts. So all analog cut by Bernie Grumman back in the day. Like, for instance, they're doing a lot of Genesis titles. You've got Genesis, A Trick of the Tail. I believe that would probably be from Classic Records lacquers. But I'll kind of try to breeze through these quick. You got Les McCann and Eddie Harris, Swiss Movement. Love that record compared to What Is Amazing. The Boss Skaggs self-title. They're doing Foreigner 4 and Foreigner Head Games. Ray Charles, Genius After Hours. And they're doing Ray Charles, The Genius of Ray Charles. Decent amount of Yes on this list. They're doing 90125, and they're doing the Yes album. Good amount of Coltrane. They're doing Bags and Train and Coltrane Jazz. They're doing John Coltrane Ole. They're doing Charles Mingus, The Clown. Charles Mingus, Pithecanthropus Erectus. The Clown and Pithecanthropus Erectus were both Speaker's Corner titles, but they're doing these as 45 RPMs. Most of these, we don't know all the details yet, but if you go to the website, I've got, the mastering details if it's been released. All that's on there. I want to say, too, keep in mind, this is a 3-year list we're talking about. There's 3 titles that are going to come out right away next month in October, I believe. You got the John Prine self-titled. That's done by Ryan K. Smith. Charles Mingus, Blues and Roots, done by Kevin Gray, and Phil Collins, Face Value, done by Chris Bellman. Those are coming out right away. We also know that the titles shortly after that are the self-titled Bad Company, Ray Charles, Rock and Roll, that's done by Bernie Grumman. Bad Company was Ryan K. Smith. Dr. John, In the Right Place, that's a Ryan K. Smith cut. Phil Collins, Hello, I Must Be Going, that's a Chris Bellman cut. Genesis, Selling England by the Pound, that's a Chris Bellman cut. Otis Redding, The Dock of the Bay, killer title. I'm really glad we got that. That's done by Bernie Grumman. So the first 3, next month. what is that, 2, 4, the other 6, I'm guessing are probably going to be like the next 3 months. They said they're going to try to do 2 a month for the next 3 years. That should fill out the series. But keep in mind, I've got them all available for pre-order. Don't email me in 6 months and say, hey, where is such and such title? This is a 3-year list we're talking about now, with a 3-year horizon, if everything goes to plan. Everything is not going to go to plan. Everything has never gone to plan the entire time I've been selling records or buying records. For decades and decades, there's always delays, there's always issues. Plan on it here. But again, getting back to the list. Bad Company, Desolation Angels, Bad Company, Burning Sky, Dr. John's Gumbo, Otis Redding, the Soul album, Roberta Flack's Killing Me Softly, T-Bone Walker, T-Bone's Blues, Donny Hathaway, Everything is Everything. They're doing Donny Hathaway, the self-titled. Hall & Oates, Abandoned Luncheonette. Foreigners, Double Vision. Ray Charles, What I Say. I'm looking forward to that one. The Great Ray Charles. Dr. John's Gree Gree. They're doing Willie Nelson's Shotgun Willie. Yes, Close to the Edge. Genesis, the self-titled with the stars on the front, that yellow cover. They're doing Abacab, Genesis. John Coltrane, Coltrane Plays the Blues. Coltrane Sound. Charles Mingus, Oh Yeah. Bad Company, Run with the Pack. They're doing Bad Company, Straight Shooter. Otis Redding, The Dictionary of Soul. Otis Blue. The Velvet Underground, Loaded. Awesome, very awesome. Wilson Pickett, The Exciting Wilson Pickett. Buffalo Springfield again. Buffalo Springfield, self-titled. Crosby, Stills, and Nash, Daylight Again. That had Southern Cross on it. That's a good album. The CSN album they're doing as well. Dusty in Memphis. That's in their catalog already, but I'm guessing they're just maybe redoing the jacket, making it part of this series. Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. They're doing Deja Vu. I believe that's from, let me see. I wonder if that's from the Classic Records plates. Oh, yeah. Chris Bellman at Bernie Grumman Master. I'm guessing that's the Classic Records plates. NXX, Kick, great title. They're doing, here's some of the newer stuff. I mean, I guess theoretically Kick is a newer title compared to what most audiophile labels do. But Hootie and the Blowfish, Cracked Rear View Mirror, or Cracked Rear View. That's actually an all analog cut. That was done in the 90s, recorded to tape. How about Stone Temple Pilots, Purple? Stone Temple Pilots, Core. Never thought I'd see Analog Productions do an STP, but pretty cool, right? Genesis Foxtrot, Genesis Nursery Chime. Yes, Fragile. Another newer title, Matchbox 20, Yourself or Someone Like You. David Crosby, If I Could Only Remember My Name. I'm looking forward to Giant Steps by John Coltrane. That's a good one. John Coltrane, My Favorite Things. Alice Cooper's Welcome to My Nightmare. Genesis, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. We've got Crosby, Stills, and Nash, the Couch album. That's probably a Classic Records. And if it is, I've got a 45 RPM of that. It sounds killer. If they're using those plates, that's going to be awesome. Looking forward to that. Phil Collins, Hello, I Must Be Going. Don't sleep on the Phil Collins stuff, man. Phil Collins stuff sells. If I go to my used bin right now, there's no Phil Collins in there. For as many albums as that guy sold in the 80s, they just don't exist. And I'm kind of looking forward to like an audiophile in the air tonight. That should be cool. Those are going to sell really well. Already told you, Bad Company, self-titled. Foreigner, self-titled. Ray Charles, Rock and Roll. Okay, let me skip the ones I already told you guys. Charles Mingus, Phil Collins, Face Value. Yeah, so that is it. So keep in mind, all of those are also going to be available on SACD. So you're going to be able to get the 45 RPM and the SACD minus Phil Collins. Okay. Woo, that's a lot of new arrivals, right? Or a lot of pre-orders. Let me show you guys the new arrivals. How about Pharoah Sanders Pharaoh? This is by Luca Bop, David Byrne's label. This is really cool. For the price, it's what, 55 bucks? I thought this was a 2 LP set. It's a box set. But yeah, an original of this, what is this? $1,000 if you're lucky. If you can find an original of this, 1,000 bucks. Here you go. You get a box set for 55. That's pretty solid. Let me make some space. The Doors. I didn't have this last week to show you because it came after the video, but this is The Doors. The complete Matrix. The Matrix is one of the earliest known live recordings of the Doors. And it's actually, for what it is, it's pretty solid quality. This is a 5 LP set, but this is just a great concert to listen to. I listened to the whole thing in one sitting at the store already. They only made 14,000 of these. They are numbered. But it's cool to hear them play stuff like, you know, Break On Through, Light My Fire, before pretty much anybody knew what this was. And, you know, they play Break On Through, and you get like 3 people doing the, well, you know, just the customary, thank you for playing a song. Let's, you know, that kind of deal, you know, when you go see a small act at a club, and you're not used to hearing Break On Through as a big smash hit. It's just a song a band's playing. But this is a really cool set. I'm a huge Doors fan, so of course I could sit here and talk about it for an hour. But yeah, we were on the lip of great success and we didn't know it. John Densmore. And that's the truth. There's 2 unreleased tracks on there, never before heard as well. I think they're instrumentals. All Blues and Bags Groove. But again, 14,000. There's a lot of Doors fans out there that ain't going to stick around forever. Okay, we got the Jeff Beck Bogart A Priest. This is live in Japan. This is a 1973, 1974 box set. 1, 2, 3, 4 LP box set. Includes 2 historic live recordings on 4 LPs. Yeah. 40-page hardbound book as well. Whew, this is exciting. I listened to this in the store, and although I don't like to demo stuff and give my opinion on it, this sounded pretty damn good in the store. And that is the new anniversary mix of The Who's Who's Next, one of my all-time favorite albums. This was Plagent Process to kind of correct some errors they had in the tape. There's 2 versions of this that I have to show you guys. The standard, actually there's 3, and I'm missing one of them. So there's an indie exclusive that's like a Coke bottle clear. There's the black vinyl, which is here. And then there's also this box set. Now, I think really you just get the box set, because the box set is the album, and then the other 3 discs in the box set are the live at the Civic Auditorium in San Francisco, 1971, which is like the most premium, top-notch, you know, full steam ahead Who live shows you're going to get, like right around the leads there. So yeah, really excited for this. But this is kind of the concert and the disc. $100, pretty solid. The Who. It's just crazy, the amount of killer stuff. The next 2 Blue Note classics. Jimmy Smith's Midnight Special, fantastic album, all analog, cut from the original master tape by Kevin Gray. And, let's keep that there. We've got Horace Silver's Blowing the Blues Away, another dynamite title, all analog, cut from the original master tapes by Kevin Gray. Really solid title. 2 really solid titles this week. All right, we've got, this is the Beastie Boys, Hello Nasty. This is a 4 LP set featuring 21 bonus tracks, including remixes, B-sides, and rarities. I think they've done 2 of these like super deluxe album boxes. I think this is the second one. I'm thinking, what was the first one? Maybe Check Your Head? Don't remember. Okay. This is the oldest pre-order in my system. This went available for pre-order back in 2021, the beginning of 2021. That is Out of the Afternoon, Roy Haynes Quartet. I'm so glad this is finally here so we can get it shipped out to you. But yeah, this is part of the Verve series, all analog. Most of these are cut by Ryan Smith with the Stoughton jackets, kind of the Impulse competitor to the Tone Poet series. All right, finally got these. This is the Meters. I showed you guys a color exclusive, but these are the standard versions. This is Apple Red. This is all analog, cut by Kevin Gray from the original master tape. We've got the self-titled. We've got Struttin'. Again, all analog, master tape. Sound on these is really good. And Lukka Pai. I've never been able to pronounce that. I mean, I'm normally really good about pronouncing things too. Like I'm on the money, get it right every single time. But this album always hangs me up. But yeah, we got this album here. All Kevin Gray. Okay, so this is also another Jackpot release. This is And Then I Wrote by Willie Nelson. Huey Lewis and the News Sports. This is a great record to finally have in stock. Can't keep this in stock anymore. Used to not be able to sell them. Can't keep it in stock. Space is the Place, Sun Ra. This is Verve by request. This came out last week, but it was towards the end of the week when I finally got it, so it didn't make the video. And Albert Ayler. This is Love Cry, another Verve by request title. Also came out last week, but didn't make the cut. REM Reveal. Jerry Rafferty. City to City. This is a deluxe version that has a bonus disc. I'm not sure what's on the bonus disc, but this is a side 1, 2, and 3. Did they just cut this at a different speed? I'll have to check on the website. But this is a 2-disc version of City to City. Shaky Graves. We got Movie of the Week. Rumors. Live. 2 LPs. Fleetwood Mac. So a lot of rumors. This is August 29th, 1977. This is just a restock, but I don't think I've had this in a long time. Maybe a year, 2 years. It's been a while. That is the original version of Taylor Swift's 1989. They're doing the Taylor Swift version coming out here soon, but this is the original. Skid Row, self-titled. We've got also Skid Row, Slave to the Grind. This is on orange and black marble vinyl. I don't think that's a color variation. Restock of Eddie Hazel. This is a fantastic record. Games, Dames, and Guitar Things. Eddie Hazel, guitar player for Funkadelic, really killer record. What's great about this is there's 2 covers on here that are just dynamite. He does California Dreamin' and I Want You, She's So Heavy. So the Beatles tune, great. California Dreamin', Mamas and the Papas. The rest of the album is good too, but those covers are just killer. This is Bachny Dreyer. Radio Sechaba. Very interesting. This, I'm going to have to listen to this. This just looks interesting. Tanya Tucker's newest album, Sweet Western Sound. This is on Fantasy. Produced by Shooter Jennings. Skid Row, Subhuman Race. This is on blue and black vinyl. This is their 3rd album. We've got Mo, Tin Cans and Car Tires. This is on sky blue vinyl, 25th anniversary remastered version. Still my favorite Batman, the first Batman movie with Jack Nicholson. Prince did the soundtrack. But this is, what is this? This is actually, yeah, this is the soundtrack. There's like the score that Danny Elfman did, and then there's the actual soundtrack. Bat Dance, Party Man. Yeah, nice. We've got Killer Mike. I think I showed one of the versions. I think it comes in 2 versions, maybe black and gold. I showed one of these last week. I'm guessing that is the other one. We've got the Coral. Holy Joe's Coral, and then my price tag cuts off, so I don't know what the rest of the name of this title is. Holy Joe's Coral Island Medicine Show, maybe. We've got Logan Ledger, Golden State. This is the indie exclusive green vinyl variant. Olive green, and then the standard black vinyl variant. Morphine, The Night. This is the orange variant. And purplish hue variant. Keep us on our toes with, you know, all the variants. We've got, oh my God, they're still making these movies. This is the soundtrack to the 10th Fast and the Furious movie. The first one was good. I could probably do without the last 9, I'm guessing. I've probably seen some of them, but not all of them. Who knows? Maybe they're the greatest movies ever, and I'm missing out. We've got, this has got 2 hype stickers on it. This is Amare, Fountain Baby, the sophomore album. This is Corinne Bailey Rae, Black Rain. Black Rainbows. We've got Electric Wizard, Come My Fanatics. This is kind of a cool release. This is on Elemental, and from what I've heard from a lot of people, their stuff is pretty solid. But this is Bill Evans from left to right. He's playing a Fender's Rhodes piano with one hand, and he's playing a Steinway with the other. But yeah, an interesting album. There it is. This is on Elemental. This is official release. Elemental's not one of these bootleg labels. Elemental's doing officially licensed stuff. They've done a couple, they did a lot of the Motown reissues for Record Store Day. K-Flay, the name of the album is Mono. This is a Coke bottle color variant. Kind of a cool cover, I like it. We've got Mitski, The Land is Inhospitable and So Are We. And this is the same record with a totally different cover, I guess. Look at that. This is the indie exclusive that comes with like a slip cover that's embossed. Cool. Slade. Beginnings. We've got the Brian Setzer Orchestra. No, just maybe Brian Setzer. Brian Setzer, brand new album, The King of Rockabilly, on red translucent vinyl. Seen him in Las Vegas at a private concert at a furniture convention. It was great. There was like 20 people in the audience and 50 people on the stage, but it was one hell of a show. Tyler Childers, Rustin' in the Rain. Threw his pick after the concert. Nobody cared. They just all walked away. I just casually walked up, picked it up. We've got the Pretenders' newest album. This is the limited edition pink vinyl variant. Newest album from the Pretenders. Carly Simon. These Are the Good Old Days. This is like a comp from her first 3 albums. Anticipation. You're So Vain. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Not quite a greatest hits, but a 3-album comp. But those are probably her best albums, I would say. All right, from Jackpot Records, we've got Howlin' Wolf. His Greatest Sides. Got a big Jackpot record restock. We've got Super Blues Band. Muddy Waters, Bo Diddley, Howlin' Wolf. Tough album to find. Martin Denny, Exotica. Martin Denny stuff actually sells really well. Renee Rapp, Snow Angel. This is on Black Ice vinyl. And then I've got Coke Bottle Clear vinyl. The Rolling Stones, Out of Our Heads. Oh, this is mono. Shite, are they going to start doing the mono box or breaking it up? Lacquer Cutting, Sean McGee, Abbey Road Studios. This is mastering Bob Ludwig. This is probably the same thing that's in the mono box. Look at that. I'm guessing they're going to start breaking up the mono box. Where have I been? I don't know. It's news to me. And we've got Out of Our Heads. What is this? Yeah, we got both versions of Out of Our Heads, the UK and the US mono. Pretty cool. Willie Nelson, first time on vinyl, remastered from Analogue tapes. Look at right on the hype sticker. Fantastic. No sparse code. Shame. But the hype stickers, it's a start. Assuming it's all analog. It could just be, creative marketing. We've got 30 Seconds to Mars. It's the end of the world, but it's a beautiful day. This has a lithograph with it. The Indie Store variant. And this, I think, is the regular version with a different cover and no lithograph. All right, we got the soundtrack to Air. Rock to Casbah, Born in the USA. Actually, I enjoyed that movie. I saw it in the theater. I like this type of movie, though, so it was kind of cool. About the development of the Air Jordan. Jeff Beck getting a reissue. We've got Wired. This is just a Sony Legacy pressing. All right, Exorcist 2, The Heretic, a Ennio Morricone soundtrack by Jackpot. You got The Dead Boys, Young, Loud, and Snotty by Jackpot. Etta James, At Last by Jackpot. Etta James Rocks the House. The Wipers, the 1984 tour. Over the Edge, limited to 3,000. We've got Over the Edge again. This is 2 LP, double LP. This is a single disc. Amazing record. I love this album. Youth of America. Really, really good. Remastered from the original master tapes. Could be Analogue. Kevin Gray actually does a lot of the Jackpot mastering. He did all of the meter stuff. He's doing all the Booker T, all Analogue. Remastered from the original tapes, 1980. The Wipers, Is This Real? The West Coast Pop Art Experimental Band. Very expensive to get originals of this. 1967 mono, mastered from the original tapes. Same thing, Volume 2, West Coast Pop Art Experimental Band. Same thing, master tape, sourced. And Volume 3. Same thing, sourced from the original master tapes. I'll be curious. I got to look in the dead wax on these. If it's Analogue, sourced from the master tapes and it's Kevin Gray, probably a good chance it's Analogue. Martin Denny, The Exotic Sounds of Martin Denny, Quiet Village. The Wipers, Land of the Lost. Dr. John, Gree Gree, this is the mono cut. Sourced from the original master tapes, cut by Kevin Gray at Coherent Audio. Martin Denny, Exotic Moog. Martin Denny stuff sells really well. Let me tell you, when you find original Martin Denny records, they're like beat up. They were like super party records. They were like the 50s equivalent of, you know, Dark Side of the Moon or Rumors. They were just played to death. Flaming Groovies, Shake Some Action. Let's see, done by Kevin Gray from the original 1976 master tapes. The Acid Test, original of this, super expensive, $1,000 record. This is the color vinyl variant. We've got Mustafa Ozkent, originally released in 1973 in Turkey. I have no clue what the hell this is, but look how awesome that cover looks. I got to give a listen to this. Silver Apples, Contact. The band was sued out of oblivion, sued out of existence because of this particular cover. Actually, it looks like, maybe not. Maybe they censored this a little bit. Maybe not, but originally it showed the band with a, I believe it was a TWA plane crashed on the back. And, no, maybe it was Pan Am. I think it was Pan Am, and Pan Am sued him. Pretty much made the band go bye-bye. Let's see, Martin Denny's Exotica, Volume 2. Martin Denny. The Exotic Sounds of, what is this? Okay, we've got Primitiva. And Aphrodisia. That's it. All the Martin Denny. But yeah, they sell really well, the Martin Denny stuff by Jackpot. We've had them before. But yeah, that is it. That is a ton of new arrivals, tons of good stuff. And then, of course, all the pre-orders. Again, keep in mind, the Analogue Productions, Atlantic 75, that is a 3-year timeline to get all those into the store. All right, guys, check us out online at theingroup.com. Until next time.